Emmanuel Pepis of UNOPrivateers.com with head volleyball coach Millicent van Norden. And coach, tough weekend last weekend. Obviously without Celeste, which hurt you guys. But just talking about, first of all, specifically with Nichols, second time that you saw them, was there anything that you saw different that they did against you, that they had the success they did?
No, I don't think so. I think, going into the matches without Celeste, obviously as strong as she is on defense, as well as not naturally being libero, but being very competitive, we just repetitively were dependent on her in different situations, especially after making mistakes. I think she was one of the strongest on the team recovering from that, and so we called on some other people to step up and hopefully try to fill in that position, and unfortunately we just weren't able to do a good job of that.
And it's kind of been the theme of the season where you've lost important players at every position, but it's kind of a different story, I guess, with Celeste. It's almost akin to maybe losing a quarterback on your football team.
Yeah, I think so. We have had some key positions throughout the season with injuries at inopportune times, what I felt like, and it's made us a change and adjust. And in those other positions, we have a little bit more depth. In this position specifically, we just don't. And so, like I said, losing her was definitely hard, just with the effort that she puts forth on every ball. But like I said, it was an opportunity for other people to prove, like, hey, they could do more. We needed them to do more. And so hopefully, approaching another weekend where she won't be competing, they'll understand how much more responsibility they have to take for their position, and we'll be able to finish up a little better and execute a lot better.
Really, as you mentioned, a trial by fire for a lot of younger players on your roster, to where they've kind of gone through the rigors of the Southern Conference, to where they know, obviously, coming into next season as well, what's to be expected as far as level of competition also.
Absolutely, and I think for those that'll be returning, the theme of this has been, like, our season doesn't end. When we've had as little success as we've had this year, we're not going to stop and take a break and then next season's upon us, the summer, and we're actually just going to continue to train. So we're preparing for next season right now, and like I said, we are asking them to do more. We want them to understand how hard they have to work in order to compete at this level in Division I, and I think they are getting on-the-job training. They're getting those opportunities and that experience in the match, and we're hoping that carries them into next season, saying, hey, we've been here, we're prepared now, and this is what we're going to do, and that's going to help us change the culture here.
And we mentioned about how the second half of the conference schedule, how that may have prepared you with the first half and having to play some of the top opponents. But kind of the offset, I guess, is a lot of road trips as well. This will be the seventh and eighth game in the last 10 for you guys on the road.
Yeah, I think, I was really happy with the schedule. It was our first year as coaches too, just not knowing what to expect from every single team for this year, just based on last year's results. And being at home for the early part of that season, I did think that we had an advantage. And then going into the back half, it's like, okay, now that we know what to expect and, what to prepare for each team, since we played them before, we should have better results, but we just have not had that, between injuries and then not really getting better in key areas. We haven't grown as much as we would have liked to, and that's why I said, we have to shift our focus. Obviously we're in a difficult place in the conference, and we can't just be focused on getting a win. Now we have to focus on things beyond the court, and just plan like for next year right now. And so hopefully, all the young ladies have bought in. We've talked a lot about it over the last few matches, especially having such difficult times in those matches. And so, like I said, just going into this weekend, they should know what to expect and what we expect from them, and we're hoping that they go out there and execute.
And you get this weekend, first starting with Lamar on Thursday, and another case where we've talked about before with a couple of these teams where the record may be a little bit deceiving.
Yeah, absolutely. Just looking at the results this morning where Central Arkansas lost to Northwestern and SFA in 3, it's like, man, in our conference, there may be like some highs and lows in terms of the record, but everyone is competing at a high level right now, and there are no guarantees. So we're hoping to just get a little bit of that, on our end, like, hey, it shouldn't be a guaranteed win when anyone suits up to play us. And if we can embrace a little bit of that mentality and not play the jersey, just play every single point, I think we'll be a lot better.
And then you close the road trip and you close the road slate for the 2014 season with Sam Houston State on Saturday, and talk a little bit about what you expect from that matchup.
I think both teams are really good blockers, really strong offensively, and so it's just our recurring theme here: play defense, block at least a little bit at a higher level, and we give ourselves a chance. I think we've seen our serve receive is broken down as it's been this past weekend, so we're hoping to definitely get better at that going into the weekend. And if we control the ball, then we'll have a chance. But like I said, we just struggled on serve receive without Celeste, and then the blocking and attacking has been a little bit off. So I think we're overdue for a good match and to be firing on all cylinders, and we have nothing to lose, so we should be able to go out there and play free, really enjoy ourselves, and try to get better.
Coach, best of luck this weekend, and thank you very much.
Thank you.
For Coach Van Norden, this is Emmanuel Pepis of UNOPrivateers.com.